Donald Trump's White House is planning a major announcement today, and many are speculating it's about his health. We'll see. After all, it's been about a week since he's held court in front of the press, and we know that's like separating a crack addict from his pipe. So something is definitely going on with the Mayor McCheese of Mar-a-Lago. In just a minute, I'll share a revealing breakdown by CNN that speaks to why the internet has been on fire with the Trump is dead hashtag. But first, I want to show you some of that fire that continues to burn in a viral way about the Donald's very telling absence. Let's begin with the hypocrisy angle by Chuck Todd.
These health rumors, he only has himself to blame. And the entire Trump world only has themselves to blame for this, right? They live in this world of conspiracy and misinformation. They manufactured all sorts of garbage, whether it's about Hillary Clinton's health in 2016, Joe Biden's health in 2020 or 2024. My goodness, they've started congressional hearings based on rumors they created and manufactured on all things having to do with Biden and this auto pen and all this nonsense. So guess what? Good for the goose, good for the gander. All weekend long, where's Donald Trump? How come we're not seeing him? Bottom line is he's clearly got some health issues. We know this administration is not forthcoming pretty much about anything, but times 10 on when it comes to Trump's personal health. Look, I think he's, I do think this has the ability to become the next Epstein frenzy, right? There's been a few things that have been where suddenly they take off and he can't seem to control his MAGA troops and even the MAGA media doesn't seem to comply with what he wants to do. The Epstein files were one of them, and his health may be another one. The lack of transparency on his health, what is going on? Why are both of his hands bruised? He's likely taking some medication that is creating what are visible signs of sort of the potentially visible signs of bruising or the appearance of bruising, which is just a side effect of a drug he may be taking in order to minimize the possibility of a stroke or a heart attack.
Now let's look at some levity from the left over Trump's absence from his authoritarian pedestal as of late. Someone in Chicago reached back into Trump's time machine with his own sound medical advice, encouraging him to rid himself of whatever ails him with a thorough bleaching. And then there's this very dark prophecy showing Trump teetering on a golf course. Something tells me this was made with AI. And Arvind Jadwa scored a twofer with the Post. I can only hope that if Trump has a serious health issue, he is taking the sound advice of his own health expert. And now for the CNN deep dive into the Trump is dead hashtag. Is it something that should be taken seriously, or does it represent wishful thinking by those with keyboards and unfiltered thoughts?
Another thing I have to bring up before the end of the show, in just a few hours, President Trump is touting an appearance for what the White House is calling a, quote, major announcement from the Oval Office. And that happens all the time. But here's the thing. This is the first public event after a weekend of speculation about Trump's health. At one point, the term Trump is dead was even trending on social media. Not true. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to need to text my boss and let them know, I'm going to need the rest of the day off to process this.
That guy looks like my grandpa. He's got this not him.
Look at his body posture, his hands. This just does not look like the same Trump that was talking crazy.
The president is insisting he's fine, responding to the online chatter with a social media post writing, "Never felt better in my life." Group chat bringing it to you because you only have to respond when it reaches your desk, right? And it turns into a thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's got thoughts? Did anyone weigh in on this?
This was, I weighed in only to privately, not publicly.
I won't judge you.
Thank you. I said to everyone, you guys know this is not true, right? But the furor with which this grew from 1 second to another is what sort of made me go, wow, the internet is on fire today.
I wonder if it was the path paved by speculation to Biden that was easily run through the track again of the algorithm.
Yeah, that seems to be some of it. It's also questions that are legitimate about what's going on with the president's health. These bruises that are on his hands that they now they keep saying are because he's shaking a lot of hands. Trump is a famous germaphobe. He doesn't shake a lot of hands. So unless that's changed and they want to tell us that, then it does feel like we're not getting a full explanation of that. That doesn't mean that there's anything more seriously wrong
But
with
we
him.
know the more you raise questions, the more people want answers, which we were seeing in social media.
He's also a really old guy who's not in fantastic shape. I mean, he's in better shape than a lot of people his age, but like, you're going to get speculation about the president when he disappears from public view for a while.
And is now not in comparison to someone else, right? Now you're looking at his health independently.
Well, there was comparison from the left, which is like, what, what about this, right? If this had been Biden, forget it. The right would be up in
Let's see
arms.
if his appearance today puts some of this to rest after all that speculation.
At the end of the day, hashtags do not create reality, but they do reflect a widespread mood. And the fact that Trump is dead trended with such ferocity says something damning about the distrust and secrecy surrounding this White House. The silence is louder than any speech Trump could give, and it will haunt the rest of his presidency. And what happens if the speculation proves true, or even partially true? If Trump is incapacitated, his movement doesn't vanish overnight. Instead, it fractures, and desperate MAGA loyalists will cling to conspiracy theories that could destabilize the GOP and the country. Imagine January 6th chaos, but fueled by martyrdom for Trump instead of election lies. But here's the irony. Trump himself built the very machine that now feeds rumors of his demise. He taught his followers to reject the mainstream press, to trust memes over facts, and to live inside a bubble of rage and rumor. If he's now being consumed by that same rumor mill, it's a fitting final act for the man who turned American politics into a circus of chaos. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.